Hi Betty, how are you today?
I'm doing all right.
It's good to see you. How have you been the last week or so?
Um, I've been doing okay. I still have a lot of anxiety. I think there's just a lot of buildup and tension with work right now. I have a lot of reports that are due, and I've kind of gotten behind on my work a little bit. So there's some tension and anxiety.
Okay, well, I definitely want to address that this session. And I also wanted to let you know that I wanted to try a technique with you for, it's called progressive muscle relaxation. So this is going to be a technique that we're going to try today for the first time in our session. So I want to add that to the agenda as well. I also want to go over some of your homework with you and see if there's anything else that you wanted to talk about this week. So you have a lot of reports that are happening for work, and you're kind of behind. How is that affecting you besides at work?
I mean, I feel like my time management is kind of all over the place. I'm not doing great at being able to maintain like relationships with like friends and even with my partner, just because I have so much work piling up that that kind of gets set to the back burner.
Definitely, I can understand that. It's not easy. So, how are the things going that are causing the tension? Is it just something that your partner has brought up, or is it just a generalized tension, or?
I think it's just kind of general tension because I have, like I said, like some of my relationships are going to the wayside because I'm letting all this work pile up, and then that's giving me anxiety, but it is causing some tension in my relationships because whenever I go out, people are either like really surprised that I'm there, or they ask my partner like, where is she?
She's normally here for this.
Yeah.
Why isn't she here?
And he feels like he has to make up some sort of excuse on why I'm not there.
I can understand that. That must be difficult. I mean, we could, give him the opportunity to say, hey, just let people know that I'm at work. I would much rather be there with you. But right now I have to be at work. And this is a time for you. You're just beginning your career as a paralegal. It's going to take some time, and you're going to have those long nights, and things are going to be crazy initially in the beginning. But you're also looking at it from a long-term standpoint as well. You know that soon enough this will be over, and it will have paid off, and you'll have gotten the position that you wanted to get and gotten everything taken care of with your job. It's a means to an end right now. It is not easy at all to, try and maintain relationships when you don't have that many things happening for you at one time. So you're not alone in that whatsoever. And people get very busy. I have friends where we're just like, okay, well, love to hang out with you, run into you at the grocery store. I won't see you again for 6 months. Not that you don't like your friends or your friends don't like you. Our lives get in the way so much now, and I think we're trying to fill it up with too many things. And I think for you that it's okay for you to let your partner know. Just say, hey, this is a big deal. This is important. I need you to support me and say, oh no, she's not here because she's doing great things. She's running all those reports. She's getting, her out of her probationary period, and she's, learning all these things. You're making a lot of good steps. You just need to work on maybe a little bit more support from your partner, so we can keep you on a path where you're still feeling comfortable. Because I feel like if you had more support from him, even just verbally, that would help you with your anxiety too, I would think. Okay. Well, so what I wanted to talk to you about was your homework for last week. We had you do the thought record.
Yeah.
Tell me how that went for you.
I mean, it was kind of nice to see, what the things that don't support my thoughts, and like I found it kind of hard to find those alternative thoughts and things like that, but I think it kind of helped to look at the section 5 where it says evidence that does not support the hot thought. That kind of helped ease my anxiety a little bit. I still had pretty high anxiety after doing it, but it did relieve some of that because, especially with like the alternative or balanced thoughts, looking at that kind of helps.
Okay, well that's good. I'm glad that it was a helpful tool for you. Were there anything that, any particular situations or anything that stood out to you?
Well, I filled this out the night. I had stayed up like really late to get a report done, and I was kind of really anxious about it because there was another night I had stayed up too late to work on something, and I'm usually a person that gets things done early, and I'm just finding with this job, I keep having things like more and more things piled up, so I have to like spend not more time. I have to like somehow manage my time, and it's not working. I'm not, I guess, working to the best of my ability because I keep doing these late night things and stressing myself out.
Well, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, you what you're going through is a stressful time. Anyone else in your shoes would be stressed out and anxious as well. This is not something that's just you. Anyone in this situation would have anxiety and would be stressed out. That's a completely normal emotion and feeling to have. What I think you need to look at is like those long-term goals. You know, are you doing the best that you can do at work right now?
I could probably do better.
Okay. But are you doing well enough that you don't feel ashamed to say this is my work, and even though it's taken me a little bit longer, I'm confident it's good and it's done? So are you still able to do that?
I guess.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Because even though you're looking at things from the standpoint of trying to make sure that it's right, sometimes we worry about those things, and it causes us to make sure we get those things done right. Because we have anxiety about it, we want to be more thorough. So I think on that note, now that we've set the agenda and kind of did an update with you, I think we should go ahead and try the technique I was telling you about, the progressive muscle relaxation. And I think that will actually help a little bit too in the moment for us to be able to take a moment and kind of recenter yourself. It's mindfulness. We're going to make sure that, you know, you're zen and you have everything, you know, together. So we can either dim the light, or if you'd like to keep the light on, however it works for you, will just be about 10-15 minutes. We'll probably only do about 5 minutes in the session to start with. But if you want, I also have some information here for you that you can take home in order to try this yourself. Okay. So what we're going to do is I want you to take your hand. This is going to be where we're going to be using your muscles to open your hand or to do a movement and then retract them. And that's going to allow your muscles to release and then react. Okay, so first thing that we want to do, so let's take like your left hand, and we're going to take a slow deep breath, and we're going to squeeze your hand as hard as you can for about 5 seconds. So ready? Okay, squeezing the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So now after the 5 seconds, so you can feel all the tension come out of your hand, right? Okay. Okay. So what we want to do is you want to make sure that you are able to notice the difference between the tension and the relaxation in your muscles. So do you want to try it with your right hand as well? Do a deep breath and then hold for 5 seconds and let go. Very good. Do you notice the difference now in both hands?
Yeah.
You're able to, okay, that's good. We want to make sure that the biggest thing that you're able to recognize is the difference between tension in your muscles and relaxation. That's going to be the whole key to this exercise. So for example, we will look at all of your different muscle groups. So for example, like your leg. So if you take your leg out and point your foot, curl your toes all the way under. Pull it in for 5 seconds. And you deep breathe in. And then release. Okay, and then you feel some of the tension in your ankle and your leg. Okay, let's try your left leg. I think that's your left leg, yes. All right, very good. Okay, feeling good, good release in the ankles and the feet. Okay, you want to try your arms now?
Okay.
Okay, let's try your arm. Let's bring your arm all the way in and stretch it with your muscle. And then let it go. Do you feel the tension release from your shoulder into your hand? Okay. What I want you to do is I want you for our last session here, I want you to make sure that you are trying to use these techniques in your everyday life. You're always going to have anxiety. That's pretty much the majority of the population has anxiety. If you don't have anxiety, you're not doing it right. I think everyone is anxious about something. Everyone is always anxious not to mess something up, so it's understandable. But you need to take a look at how you want it to affect your life. You want to be able to take that anxious energy and turn it around so that it's able to be something positive in your life. So I think as you notice the energy changes, for example, when you're using the progressive muscle relaxation or when you're doing your deep breathing, I think you'll be able to use those more often and see where they fit in to take that energy and make it a positive one. Okay. So, is there anything else that you want to talk about this week?
No, that's really it.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming in. So we went over a different type of technique for you to try today. And we also went over your homework. And I'd like you to give these relaxation exercises a try. And then at our next session, we can take a look and see if that's made a difference for you as well. All right? Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks.